fairly comfortable to you, maybe cross-legged or sitting on the shins if you like. Let's go ahead and feel into the shoulders and right into the head and neck. What's going on today? Bring your hands down to your knees and just begin to close your eyes and roll your head around. As the ears go from one shoulder, maybe chin down and around, and then over to the other. Already we can know what feels tight, what feels nice, or maybe what does not have sensation. Where is there non-feeling? Keep rolling, neck and head from side to side. Let's all bring our chins down towards the center. Take a little pause here. And then inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin just enough where we're back to that seated. And let your left ear drop over to your left shoulder. Let your left hand come up and over, maybe to the top of that right ear. And give just a light little pull so that you can feel on that right side of the neck. If you want a little more, you can reach your right arm long and turn the hand. Just rotating the palm upwards, downwards. You'll feel this all in the neck. Hand can come down to the mat or back to the thigh. Take an exhale. Release your left hand. Chin will roll into the middle and right ear to right shoulder. Soften in the shoulders a little bit when you get here. And then decide where you'd like to place this right hand. Top of the ear, closing eyes. Left arm can reach off of the mat and rotate that palm around. You might feel this in the neck a lot. You might even feel this in the arm, in the wrist. So just let some creaks and pops happen. Hand comes down. Release your your right hand as you release your chin down. Move your head from side to side. This time when we inhale, let's lift our head. Reach the arms outwards and upwards. Big open circle with the arms. Eventually start to gaze towards your own thumbs. Maybe your palms press. When you arrive, see if you can soften your shoulders a little bit. If this is challenging, then move your hands a little closer, more in front of your face. So you can lower your hands so you have something to gaze at. Take an exhale, release your left hand down. Your right arm will start to reach up and over. And you'll start to feel in the right side of your body. Inhale, we'll reach up, lightly press your palms. Exhale, other side. As your right hand lowers, your left arm reaches. Inhale, start to lift. Your breath will start to move with your motion as your left arm lowers, right arm up and up. Continue moving on your breath cycles. You can always turn the head and neck, shifting the gaze however you love. Will let you get a little deeper into some spaces. You can always bend the bottom elbow as you choose. You're still moving however you love. And make sure you get one more time on each side. If we're not on the same cycle, no worries. I'll wait for you. Inhale, let your hands lift to center. Take your time if you're still moving. Don't worry, we'll wait. And then when you're ready, interlace your fingers. Start to press the heels of your hands, the palms of your hands away from you. You might even round a little bit in the spine. As you start to do this, your chin will curl. Take an inhale and lift your chest. It will become like that cat's breath. And as you exhale, round and start to press your hands forward, your arms will lower down towards the floor. Keep the bind. Take an inhale as you lift. If your eyes are open, you can keep your gaze following your fingers. As you exhale, it's that rounding, coiling, really pressing your hands away from you. Building a little internal heat here. Lift and exhale, coil in. One more time. Inhale, let's reach the arms up. Exhale, release that grip. Hands will come down by our side. Let the shoulders roll back and down. Your hands can come to the knees if this helps you exaggerate the shape a little bit. And on that last nice big shoulder roll, exhale, let it all release. You feel the softening. We're moving from a place of love in this moment. So whatever feels good is the pathway to take. You'll gently flicker your eyes open. Start to move towards the front of your mat in a tabletop. So your palms will plant down on the mat. Your knees will go right under the hips. And you're gazing just right over the edge of your mat. You can move organically, however you love, or you can keep moving in that cat and cow-like shape, finding some deeper spaces in the spine. I love to really allow whatever wants to awaken to kind of arise here. So if the hips want to start to circle around, you'll drop one hip over to one heel and then back around. If you are taking that pathway, make sure you're taking those semicircles or full circles in both directions. The body will give us all kind of feedback of what it loves, what it needs. But moving slowly, we say that mindfully or intentionally, will help us to listen. One more breath to move around, wiggling around how you need. And finding that neutral spine, that tabletop. Let's press through our left foot and let the big toes, or let the toes just press onto the mat. So straighten the leg, press through the heel, and then start to move around a little. So pressing maybe the foot back. And then you might reach it forward. You could lift it if you want and circle the ankle. But really, we're getting more into the left calf. So feel that weight. You could also turn your heel towards the left and towards the right. Take your time if you're exploring. You're just pressing through the foot. It doesn't have to look like a lot. Just let it feel big. You can take a big hip circle if you love, if you're lifting the leg, playing with your balance a little bit if you're doing that. And exhale, release your left knee down. Feel the low belly pull in enough to be supportive to the spine. And press through your right foot. You'll keep the toes planted pretty firmly. And start with a little rocking, that moving forward and back. You can lean if you need to. Lowering and then lifting back up. You can lift the foot, circle around. All this is free motion, getting into the back of the body. Come to where you're pressing the toes down. Turn the heel over to the left. Turn the heel over to the right. Keep playing here. Lift the knee. Find that one big hip circle or two big hip circles. Exhale as you press through your right foot and release your right knee down. You're in tabletop. Start to walk or crawl the hands a little more forward. Curl your toes under. On a breath out, you lift your hips high and keep that free movement, that exploration as you take that first downward dog on a little walk, maybe pedaling the feet. Again, if you're feeling more into the calves, if the back of the legs are maybe a little tight, it might feel good to you to lift onto the tippy toes. Drop your heels over to the right. If this is good, this left foot can come behind the right. You can stretch a little deeper. If you go for that, then we'll do the same thing. Tippy toes, off over to the left, right foot reaching. If you want, this will intensify. And releasing into a downward facing dog. Start to tippy toe the feet up behind the hands really slowly. Inhale, lift halfway when you arrive. Separate the feet at least mat distance, that heel toeing, shimmying of the feet. Exhale, bend the knees a lot. Start to forward fold and allow yourself to just hang at the top of the mat. Always swaying from side to side can feel really nice. If you'd like to reach for opposite elbows, the ragdoll, or hands on the back of the head, that might also feel nice. If your eyes are open, see if you can gaze behind you. This will keep the back of your neck really long. Inhale, let's release the hands, lift halfway. Shimmy the feet under your hips here. Hands can always support on the shins if you love. Take an exhale, fold, and let your neck and head drop, softening. Inhale, lift halfway. Start to lengthen through your spine. Exhale as you fold. Hands can massage your own calves. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Hands just massage the backs of your legs. Inhale, halfway lifting. Press through the feet. Exhale, folding. Begin to feel the moving meditation. Inhale, halfway. You could close your eyes. Nothing new is happening yet. Fold on the breath out. Halfway lift on the breath in. Fold on the breath out. One more round. Inhale, lift for halfway. Feel the belly engage. Exhale, fold. Soften your head and neck. Inhale, this time bend your knees a little and reach the arms all the way up. You're rising up to standing. Exhale, your hands will pause at the vision center. Pause at your heart center. Moving in a way that feels good. Exhale, release your hands down by your sides. You can always roll the shoulders back and down a few times to release any tension in the shoulders. Inhale, let's reach the arms out and up. Exhale, fold, down we go. You can always bend the knees. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, hands will plant down onto the mat. Step one foot back and then the other. This is a high plank pose. We won't be here for too very long. Just notice how you can feel that lifting on the back body, lifting of the legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Start to press your hips high and soften in the neck and head. Inhale here, bring your big toes together. This is just for stability. Take a breath in very slowly. Sweep your right leg up and back. Exhale, step your right foot all the way forward and through the hands. Lower your left knee down. Keep your toes curled for this cycle. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up. The gaze will lift. Exhale, you'll open the arms. You're opening like that cactus shape, that goal pose. It's heart forward. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, release your hands. Lift your back left knee. Send your right foot back behind you. You're in a plank. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Big toes will come together. Left leg on an in-breath slowly rises. Exhale, you put your foot all the way between the hands. Next breath out, lower your back knee. Keep your toes curled. Inhale to sweep your arms up. The gaze will be forward. Exhale, open into that cactus shape. Act as though there's a sliver of paper between the thighs. The legs are on. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, release 2 hands down. Curl the back toe or lift the back knee as you send your left foot behind you. You're in a high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll add a little movement here. Bring your big toes together. Inhale, really slowly lift the right leg straight up and up. Exhale, step your foot forward through the hands. Stay high on the back knee. If you want to add a layer, you can always go lower pathway. Take an inhale to sweep the arms up. This is that first Anjaneyasana, that high lunge. Exhale as you open the arms. This is that cactus shape. Heart is forward. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, 2 hands come down to the mat. Crawl around to the long side of the mat. The right toes will turn with you. And inhale to lift your chest halfway. Exhale, big fold. Stay, we won't be here too long. Inhale, lift half. Exhale, turn back around to the front. You have a runner's lunge on the right. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, release to the cactus. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, lower your 2 hands down. Crawl around to the long side of the mat. This is that prasarita, that big forward fold. Take an inhale, lift up just halfway. Fingertips can always remain on the ground. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to the front. We'll do that exact same thing. Last time, reach the arms up on the in-breath. Release into that more open heart on the out-breath. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, release your hands down. Crawl around, just move the right toes as you move, a little bit of footwork. Lift halfway. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale to lift. Exhale to come around to the front. Lower your left back knee down. Uncurl your back toes this cycle. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, opening. It's that big, deep heart opening. Inhale, sweep your arms high. Exhale, 2 hands to the mat. This time we'll go a slightly different pathway. As your hands scoot under the shoulders, this right leg will scoot up and back. We're in a tabletop. You have to do a little shimmying to get the wrist right under the shoulder. And then coil the knee into the chest. You're in a table. You'll lift your right leg. It's like we're standing on the ceiling. Knee stays bent. Exhale, coil it in. Inhale, lift here. Exhale, coil in. One more time, you lift. This time, reach your left hand long. This is just if you're adding a layer. Sweep that left hand around to the right foot. Exhale, coil in, but keep the grip. So you're holding your foot in your hand. And inhale, lift your chest, kick your right foot just a little into left hand. Exhale, release your leg, release your arm, reach everything long and everything down. Nice work. Hands will scoot forward, hips will lift high. Find your down dog and soften something. Maybe it's even just a softer thought form. Big toes will gently come together. Left leg rises straight up and back. Exhale, step your foot forward through the hands. High on the back knee now. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, open into the cactus shape. Soften those shoulders. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, 2 hands down to the mat. Turn the left toes long side of the mat. I know this time your booty will be facing me. Take an inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale to lift your chest. Exhale, crawl around to your lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up. We have left leg forward in that lunge. Exhale, open your heart. Twice more, you lift on the in-breath. Lower your hands on the out-breath. Crawl around. The left toes will just turn with you. Lift your chest a little. Exhale, folding. Your hands will stay under your shoulders. You're not here for long. Inhale, lift half. Exhale, crawl around. Runner's lunge, little fancy footwork. In breath, reaching really high. Exhale, cactus or goalpost shape. Inhale, arms reaching. Exhale, release the hands to the mat. Turning your left toes as you crawl around. Inhale, lift the halfway. Exhale, lower and soften the jaw. Inhale, lift half. Exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, arms reach up, Anjaneyas. Nice big saguaro shape as you open your heart. In breath, lift your arms. Exhale, lower your hand. Lower your back right knee. Uncurl your back toes this time. Inhale, reach the arms up. I know front hip is really working. Big open shape, heart forward. Notice it's vulnerable here, right? Leading with the heart, leading with love. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. Hands will scoot under your shoulders as this knee slides up and back. So you're pressing that left foot towards the ceiling. Exhale, coil in your knee towards your nose. Inhale, pressing your foot high. Coiling in on the breath out. Inhale is the lift. You can keep your knee bent here. You're lifting. Exhale, you're coiling. Inhale, you're lifting. Pause on the breath out. Exhale, right arm reaching. You can pause anywhere along the way, any layers that you love. Sweep that right hand around to your left foot. Take an exhale. You coil the knee in with the grip of the hand to the foot. This is challenging the balance a bit. Inhale, lift and kick, even if it's not a big kick. Exhale, everything comes along. You're reaching your left leg, reaching your right arm. Lower your hand, lower your knee. Yes, tabletop. Scoot the arms forward, your hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips are high. Soften in your head and neck by nodding, not shaking. Yes, no. Big toes come together. Inhale, right leg rises up and back really slow. Exhale, your foot will step forward between the hands. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, that open goalpost, cactus. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. Walk around. Your right toes will crawl around with you. Inhale, lift halfway. If you want a little more this time, as you exhale, you can move your hands to your calves and fold with the hands just softening down the backs of the legs. Eventually, you'll find somewhere to stay. If you're very flexy, hands could always come to the outside edges of the feet or around the big toes. If you're with me and you're like, it's still a little early, hands just around the ankles. Soften the neck. Weight forward into the toes. This will kind of trick us into turning the fronts of the legs on. Inhale, lift halfway, hands under the shoulders. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale to bend your knees just a little bit. Start to lift your chest. We're standing. Yes, nice. Hello. Circle out and up with the arms. Exhale into this goddess pose. So you'll lift the toes out, heels in, little fancy footwork we've been playing with. Exhale, bend the knees. You can bend the elbows. I do the hands like you're holding some kind of a drink tray. But if that's like whew, to the wrist, then maybe hands just come to heart. Hands could also just reach to the sky if that's something that feels okay, but it's also bringing the power. Hands could rest on the thighs. You can really do anything with the arms. The work is in the legs and the hips. And if you're doing that goddess, that Kali, like where our arms and legs are kind of mirroring each other, take an exhale and sit a little lower. I'll do it as you will. I know. Inhale, let's lift up, star pose. You have that ah. Exhale, hands to hips. Turn your heels out, so just that little pivot of the foot, and fold down again. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, crawl around to the front. We're in a runner's lunge. Lower your back left knee. Uncurl your toes and reach your arms up. Exhale, open that heart forward shape. Inhale, lift your arms high. Exhale, hands come down. Hands will scoot right under the shoulders as that foot goes up and back. One time we coil in without the grip. Inhale, lift your right leg. Inhale, lift your left hand. Sweep it around to the right foot. One time, coil in with the bind. I know this will make you wobbly. It always makes me wobbly. Inhale, lift and kick. Exhale, everything releases long. Next breath out, everything hand and knee to the mat. Nice. Hands will scoot forward. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Downward dog is not feeling the most restful yet. You could always find child's pose. If downward dog is feeling pretty restful, then start to lift the belly a little. See if there's somewhere that we can engage, maybe legs. Big toes come together. Inhale, left legs up and back. Exhale, step your foot forward. Inhale to rise into that crescent, Anjaneya. Exhale, open into the cactus shape. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, release two hands down. Crawl around to the side of your mat. You'll turn your toes with you. Take an inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, start to fold. If you'd like, you can turn your hands behind you and act as though you're walking the hands more and more behind you. This is not always the easiest shape. Do keep your eyes open in this one. And it's weight more towards the toes. There can always be that slight micro bend in the knees. Take an inhale to lift halfway, hands right under the shoulders. Hands to the hips, bend your knees a little, lift up to standing. Open up into your star pose. Exhale, be toes out, heels in. It is that goddess Kali shape. So you may not be facing me. You may not be facing anything. You could close your eyes here. The deeper we bend in our knees, the deeper the sensation is. The more we lean back a little bit and open the shoulders, the more we're moving from our heart. Inhale, let's lift into a star pose. Exhale, hands to hips. Turn your heels out, toes in. Fold forward. Hands can massage down the backs of the legs. Inhale to lift halfway, hands right under your shoulders. Exhale, crawl around to the front of your mat. Your left foot is forward, you're in a lunge. Back knee will lower. Uncurl your toes, reach the arms up. Exhale, open your heart, you're shining forward. Inhale, lift your arm. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. They'll shimmy under the shoulders as your left leg goes up and back. Exhale, it's knee coiling into the nose. Inhale, it's lifting to the sky. Sweep your arm forward and right arm around. One time we'll coil in, clasping the knee, holding this knee. And you're holding this foot. And inhale, lift the knee, kicking your foot into your hand. Beautiful. Chest is open. Inhale, we release everything long. Challenge the balance. Exhale, release the hand, release the knee. Nice work. You can walk the hands or slide the hands forward. Hips high for downward facing dog. Pause in your movement just long enough to hear the full cycle of your breath. Belly lifting. Inhale, gaze forward towards the thumbs, bend the knees a lot. You can step or lightly hop the feet behind the hands. Inhale, lift halfway when you arrive. Exhale, fold, hands down the backs of the legs. Inhale, lift halfway and bring the big toes together. Little sliver of space between the heels. Inhale, bend the knees a lot. Reach the arms up. Take an exhale to find that settling in. Today is more about love to the shoulders. So if the arms are kind of extended and challenged, then reach the arms forward. When you do this, roll the shoulders back and down. You're kind of plugging those shoulders back in. And the hands, they have energy, almost like a magnet. It would be challenging to press them all the way together. That's how engaged the arms are. It's as though you're holding a block or a book or something that you don't want to drop right in between the hands. Sit down a little lower in the legs. I know it's not easy. I'll do it with you. Take an inhale now. Lift up, stand up. We find this ha. Exhale, sweep the hands down to your low back. Step one foot out. I usually have to go feet hip distance for this one. Hands will go fingertips rising. And inhale now. Lift your chest. Find that back neck. Open slowly. Make sure you can breathe here. Exhale, fold down we go. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back to meet it. Pause in this high plank pose. If you're going a little more solar, you're feeling like you need a little love, then you will maybe go for vinyasa with knees lifted. For my first cycle, I'm going to lower knees down, chest and chin down. Keep the elbows pulling in and slither forward onto the belly. You'll uncurl the toes. See if you can take all the weight out of your hands if you're in baby cobra. If you're in upward dog, do your thing, roll your head a couple of times. Exhale, we'll press onto hands and knees, downward facing dog. Notice how the shoulders open over time. Big toes together. Right leg rises up and back. Exhale, foot steps forward through the hands. Inhale, rise up for your Anjaneya, that crescent shape. Exhale, open your chest, cactusing open those arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, we'll add on a little here. Sweep the hands back. Clasp a bind here and lift your chest once more, almost leaning back. The chest is like, ooh, thank you. It's pretty open in the shoulders. Exhale, release the bind. Reach the arms all the way out and up. Exhale, lower your hands down to the mat. Lower your back knee. You feel that little mini vacation. Uncurl the back toes, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Start to hands come back under the shoulders and send your right foot up and back. This is that same movement we've done before. One time you coil in. Inhale, lift and reach together. Exhale, find the bind of the foot and coil, all one motion. Inhale, lift and kick. You're holding the foot. Exhale, release everything long. Inhale here. Exhale, hand and knee lower. Hands scoop forward as you go up and back to downward dog. Riding your breath wave, let's bring the big toes together. Left leg rises up and back. Exhale, step your foot forward between the hands. Inhale to reach your arms up, lifting. Exhale to open that chest to the sky. Inhale, reach. Exhale, adding on, sweep the hands back. Your belly stays lifted. Clasp a bind and open a little deeper. Inhale. Release the bind, reach the arms up. Exhale, release 2 hands down. Lower your right knee, uncurl your right toes. Reach your arms up. One more nice big open shape. Inhale. Reach the arms up. Exhale, release your hands down. Hands go under the shoulders as that left foot slides up and back. Coil in 1 time. This is also a vinyasa. Reach your arm and foot together and clasp for the bind. Coil knee into the nose. Open as you lift and kick. Everything goes long. Everything plants, hand and knee. Scooting your hands forward, curl your toes, downward dog. Beginning, middle, and end of a breath wave here. Gaze towards the hands in between the thumbs, bend the knee. Step or lightly hop, traveling to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, hands down the leg. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, big toes together. Little kiss, little shiver, sliver of space between the heels. Inhale, bend the knees. Reach the arms up. That's your Utkatasana. Exhale, hands will come right out of the shoulders. So just move them down where they're parallel with the earth. Shoulders right back in here. One big full breath. Lean your chest forward a little. Sweep your arms back. This is that airplane wings. Now clasp a bind here. Bend in the knees.
There you go.
Utkatasana. I know every part of the body's working. Exhale, fold, and keep the bind. You can keep the knees bent here. This is no problem if there's a bend in the knees. Exhale, hands down the backs of the legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, one more big fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands come down. Step your left foot back and then your right foot. Vinyasa here if you're going for that chaturanga and you need a little more. Also, we can go knees down, chest and chin down. Keep the booty lifted. Slither forward into that baby cobra. It's all kind of one wave. Exhale, meeting in downward facing dog. Big toes come together. Take an inhale, lift your left leg, it's left leg this time, up and back. Bend your left knee and open your hip. You can go on your own cycle or just take one big hip circle. I always come forward onto the toes, roll that knee around, and really feel your hip open. You can do 2 if you love, and reach your left leg long. Left foot will lower down. Big toes are touching here. Inhale, right leg rises up and down. Bend your knee, open your right hip. Go for whatever fluid movement you love or a couple of nice big hip circles. Really feel that opening.
How are you?
This time, right foot goes all the way through the hands. Runner's lunge. Crawl around to the long side of the mat. Turn your right toes forward with you. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, take a fold. Keep your hands where they are. We'll only be here this breath. Inhale, lift half. Hands to hips, little micro bend in the knees as you lift your chest on an in breath. Turn the toes out, heels in. Find that goddess squatting in the legs. And walk your hands down towards the knees. Thumbs can be forward. You can do it either way, but see how your wrist feels. Find an exhale as you dip that right shoulder more towards the middle of the mat. You'll gaze up and back. Inhale, lift just a little. Exhale,
not
lift
at all.
Nice.
Enjoy.
Spinal twisting. We're going to keep moving. If the neck can soften, the shoulders can open a little more. You want to go to the depth that you can still breathe deeply. We'll do one more round. It will be right shoulder to the middle on a breath out. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, left shoulder to the middle. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, turn the toes out, heels in. Last fold, hands down the leg. Inhale, lift half, hands to the hips. Start to bend the knees slightly, lift up to standing. This will be our trickiest transition all day, I promise. Turn your right toes forward, bend the right knee, and step the left foot to meet the right. You should be standing at the top of your mat. Hands are on hips or softly lower them down. Shoulders back and down one more time. From here, you will either bind your hands together where you have opposite elbows. So what I'm doing now, where I'm reaching each hand to the other elbow, is going to be a less intense variation of this shape. If this is already feeling like a lot in the chest, then stay here. If you want to know what the next evolution is, and you're just standing at the top of the mat, then you are bringing the hands together and then turning them. It's this involution. So that we have what we call our reverse namaste or that Anjali mudra. So the palms are pressing. This is pretty open here. So you decide either elbows to elbows or that reverse namaste. Bend this left knee, step your right foot back just 3 feet or so. The toes are turned forward and to the corner, maybe 45-degree angle of that right foot. Lift your chest on an inhale. And as you exhale, start to melt your chest forward. You're folding over a straight front left leg. Whether you're doing whichever bind you're doing with your hands, notice that you can open the shoulders more even as you fold. It doesn't really matter if your forehead can touch this knee, but that's where you're going. If you decide, I really like my most expansive variation, then your work is really bringing your forehead closer and closer to the knee. Inhale, let's lift our chest, little micro bend in that front left knee to lift all the way up to standing. Beautiful. Exhale, release the arms. Ooh, little sound effects can be really nice. Bend your left knee, step your right foot forward. Hands can come to the tops of the shoulders and just roll the shoulders around a little bit. Maybe elbows come close to each other. Maybe they don't touch, or maybe they do. We'll check this out on the other side. After you release your hands down, bring the opposite elbows. You could change that grip. It'll be the one that feels awkward, that opposite hand on top. Or hands in a prayer. They're facing downwards and then turning upwards. If you have some other way to get into that shape, that's also fine for me. Take an exhale. Your left foot steps back about 3 feet, maybe 2 feet if you're a little on the shorter side, with the left toes facing about 45 degrees off to the side. Let your hips be facing forward towards the front of your mat and start to fold on a breath out. You're gazing right towards your front big toe and eventually gazing towards your knee. Both legs are working equally. How can we open our heart and soften our head? This is literally in this shape, but also symbolically, how can we move from love and let the thought forms just be a little bit quieter? Inhale, start to lift your chest. Rebend the knee just a little. Step, as you bend the left or right knee, the left foot will step forward. Exhale, release that bind, that gripping, roll the shoulders back and down. Big open shoulders, if that feels great. You can go however you love to loosen. And let's take a nice big open motion with the arms out and up. Exhale, this is your last big back bend here. So either bend the knees, bringing the hands down to the low back, taking the support, or you could go for a deeper back bend if you love. If that's in your wheelhouse, go for it. Exhale, nice big fold as the hands softly glide down the backs of the legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands will come down to the mat. You'll step one foot back, step the other foot back to meet it. We'll lower down all the way onto the belly this cycle. So see if you want to challenge yourself and maybe hover in that chaturanga for just a breath. And then lower all the way down. Shimmy onto your mat if you've fallen off like me. Let's turn our right ear to the mat. Eyes closed. With our right ear to the mat, we'll reach our right arm out long, right out of the shoulder. So it would be like a T, but just with the right arm. If you'd like, you can flip the palm so that the palm is facing upwards. You can go either direction. You'll just see how it feels in the shoulder as we start to move. So palm facing upward will give this a little more probably intensity on that right shoulder head. We'll start to bring this left hand right in front of the face, bend in the elbow. So it's like we could put some weight in the hand. And then bend the left knee. Our foot is in the air on the left side. Use your hand to start to roll onto your side. Eventually, this left foot will press down behind you. I know if you've never done this before, it sounds weird, but it feels amazing to the shoulder once we figure it out. So your hand is in front of your face for support. Your left foot is on the mat or on the ground somewhere. If it's just kind of hanging out in the air, this will be very uncomfortable. It is more comfortable to release your foot down, let it plant on the ground. I promise it sometimes feels like we can't get there, but it is easier once we have the foot planted. If you know where you're going and you're adding things, you can go at your pace. But if you want to see what it feels like to release this left hand, you can bring it around and just rest it on your sacrum, on your low back. Some of you will have binds and be able to do all kind of fun, awesome things, but do that on your own breathing cycle so that you can find your way in slowly, taking the feedback of the body. Almost everything we do is in front of our face. Even our yoga class now is directly in front of us. When we do these interesting stretches, the shoulders opening behind us, this is forcing us to be the one to open. This is forcing us to expand. All right, release your left hand back down in front of the face. Use this hand, use some weight in the hand to roll back onto your belly. Take time. Let some sound effects. Let that whoo-hoo happen as you wiggle the hips. Bring your hands right under your forehead and just rest here. We're wiggling our hips. You can bend the knees and do that windshield wiper motion of the feet from side to side. Release your feet back down onto the mat. Turn your left ear to the mat. This side will be different. Sometimes it's easier when we know where we're going, but we tend to speed up the process when we know where we're going. So keep moving really slowly as you turn your left ear to the mat. Pull that left arm just right out of the shoulder. Let it be long. It will either be palm facing up or down. Check it out. However gives you the most sensation in a good way, in a loving way. Bend in that right elbow. So the right hand is planted right in front of the face. And we could put weight in the right elbow, like we were going to do a push-up. We will bend the right knee. And we will roll onto the left side of the body. Eventually, our right foot is touching the mat behind us, or the ground behind us. Let your head be fully relaxed. Head and neck have nothing to do here. If you're checking out that binding or that opening deeper, you'll move your right hand from out in front of the face and around to the low back. If you have some fancy binds or some other fun things that you love, you can always input them here. For me, this is already a little intense, so I'm breathing deeper into the left shoulder. Breathe right into the space that almost is driving you crazy, right? The space that wants your attention really bad. Exhale, release your right hand back around in front of the face. Roll onto your belly really slow. Hips wiggle from side to side as you bring your hands right under the forehead. Pause for a moment in stillness here. Offer to your mat, maybe to the earth, the ground beneath it, anything that feels a little bit heavy. Offer some fear, some worry, something. Even just offer that old air, that right down to the earth. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders here. Take an inhale and start to press back onto hands and knees. You'll crawl, maybe if you've wiggled off your mat like me, you'll crawl the knees under the hips. You'll slide the hands forward, finding our puppy pose, this Anahata Asana. This is that last big opening of our shoulders. And exhale, come down to sitting on your shins, sliding the hands back over the knees, eventually thumbs right into hip creases. Elbows will peel back, they're peeling towards the back of the room, and lift your chest just a little. Keep the thumbs where they are, take an exhale, and just pour your body right over. Forehead can touch the mat if it can. Inhale to lift your chest. Exhale to kind of melt that body right onto the mat. Inhale, lift our chest. Feel that wave-like quality. We can move like love moves. Move like that great mama ocean moves. One more time. Just pour everything forward, offering something up to the earth. Inhale, lift the chest, lean back. Exhale. Last time we fold. Inhale, lift your chest just right up to seated. Find that neutral long spine. Exhale, roll off of the right hip, probably. Roll off of the right hip so that you can swing your feet around in front of you. You can take any finishing seated shapes that you love. For me, we're going to do a hip opener. If that's not what your body is feeling, then yes, you could go wide-legged forward fold, or you could go straight leg. You could do anything you love. If you're going bound angle pose, then hands will come down to the ankle. Lift your chest and exhale, melt your heart. Just fold forward. The elbows will come right onto the tops of the thighs. Very flexy, friends. So most of us will stay here at this first layer. Very flexy, friends. I think there are some on the call in the room, right? We'll start to come forward and forward. You're not really using your elbows for your hips anymore. They're kind of naturally doing it. And if you can bring your elbows in front of your ankles, press your palms together. If you are very flexy, you might even be able to rest your head on your feet or very close to your feet. These are not easy options. These are all just kind of pauses along the way. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, hands to the outside edges of the knees. Bring the knees back together. Let's exhale, roll down onto our backs. You can use the hands behind the thighs. Give a little roll of the knees away from each other and towards each other. You can make sure you get one big full roll in both directions. Always, you can go on your own finishing postures. If you'd like to do the offering that I'm doing, then you'll reach for the outer edges of your feet or your ankles and go for this happy baby, just feet reaching away from each other, pulling the knees towards the earth and rolling around. You can straighten one leg, bend the other. You could straighten both legs if you have it, if it feels good in your body. But whatever you're doing, let it feel pretty natural. Just roll around. This is Ananda Balasana. This is actually blissful, baby. We're just fully in bliss, right? We have no worries. And then release everything into the air. Shake the legs, shake the arms, shake it all around. And then exhale, hug everything into a little ball. Reach your legs long. Open your arms out like a nice big star like we were doing before. You have so much space here.